Principles of welding. Welding process can be classified as fusion welding process and pressure welding process. Let's first discuss the principles on which the fusion welding process is based. Fusion welding process can obtain heat either from the energy ray or low temperature sources or electric arc or chemical energy. In a fusion welding process, which involves the energy rays as the heat source, we see that the electrons collide with the workpieces at a high speed. This welding process is based on the principle that in a fusion welding process, which involves low temperature sources as the heat source, we see that the filler metal melts faster than the workpieces and accumulates in the spacing between the workpieces. Here the filler metal has lower melting point than the workpieces to be joined. This welding process is based on the principle that in a fusion welding process which involves electric arc as the heat source, we see that the two electrodes, anode and cathode, touch each other, due to which an arc is produced, which can be used further to weld the workpieces. This welding process is based on the principle that and in a fusion welding process which involves chemical energy as the heat source, we see that the gas mixes with each other and then evolves heat, which is used for welding. This welding process is based on the principle that. Let's now discuss the principles on which the pressure welding process is based. Pressure welding process can obtain heat either from the smith's forge or electrical energy in the form of resistance to current, or mechanical energy in the form of pressure or chemical reactions. In a pressure welding process which involves smith's forge as the heat source, we see that the workpieces to be welded are first heated and then combined together forcefully at the point where they are heated. This welding process is based on the principle that in a pressure welding process which involves electrical energy as the heat source, we see that high voltage and low current is supplied to the workpieces placed together. The resistance to the flow of current by these workpieces at their intersection points results in heating the intersection. The heating of intersection further results in welding those workpieces. This welding process is based on the principle that in a pressure welding process which involves mechanical energy as the heat source, we see that one workpiece applies pressure on the other workpieces. This results in heating the intersection due to friction, and thus welding occurs between them. This welding process is based on the principle that and in a pressure welding process which involves chemical reaction as the heat source, we see that the intensely heated product obtained from the chemical reactions falls on the workpieces. This results in heating and further welding between them. This welding process is based on the principle that thus we can say that the principle of welding process is based on the fact whether the heat obtained is from the energy ray, low temperature sources, electric arc, chemical energy, smith's forge, electrical energy, mechanical energy or chemical reaction. The related terms are